The massive training facility of the Interstellar Military Academy stretched before J Park like an endless metallic landscape. Towering windows revealed distant alien planets, their exotic colors swirling against the deep darkness of space. He was just one human among hundreds of alien recruits, a fact that seemed to hang over him like a heavy cloud. Jay's dark eyes scanned the training hall. Massive creatures from a dozen different star systems moved around him, some tall and crystalline, others resembling walking mountains of muscle and scale. Their universal translators hummed with conversations that occasionally drifted toward him, conversations filled with quiet mockery and open disdain. A large reptilian recruit named Cairo nudged his companion. "Another human? They're sending humans to military training now?" His laugh was a low, rumbling sound that made several nearby recruits turn and stare. Jay knew the reputation. Humans were considered the rookies of the galactic community, technologically behind, physically weaker, and seemingly out of place in the grand scheme of interstellar warfare. He had heard it all before, seen the looks, felt the judgment. But Jay was different. Beneath his average height and seemingly ordinary appearance, something burned, a determination that had carried him through countless challenges. Growing up in the competitive military academies of Earth, he had learned that survival wasn't about size or advanced technology. It was about adaptability, intelligence, and an unbreakable spirit. The training floor buzzed with activity. Holographic displays flickered with complex tactical simulations. Recruits from various planets practiced intricate combat maneuvers that seemed more like choreographed dance than actual fighting. Anti-gravity platforms allowed some species to move in ways that defied human understanding. Kiro approached Jay, his scaled body towering over the human recruit. "You look lost, little human," he said, his translator converting his native language into crisp, mocking English. "This isn't a playground. This is where real warriors are made." Jay didn't respond. He simply adjusted his standard-issue training, gear, and maintained his position. Years of preparation had taught him that reactions were what his opponents wanted. Silence was his shield, focus his weapon. The first training session would begin soon. A massive holographic instructor materialized in the center of the hall, a neutral artificial intelligence designed to evaluate and train recruits from multiple species. Its voice was calm, universal, devoid of emotion. "Recruits, prepare for initial assessment," the AI announced. "Physical capabilities, tactical understanding, and adaptive thinking will be measured. Survival is not guaranteed." Around Jay, alien recruits began stretching, activating personal energy shields, checking advanced technological gear that looked more like science fiction than military equipment. Some had exoskeletons that enhanced their already impressive physical capabilities. Others had neural links that promised instantaneous strategic calculations. Jay had none of that. He wore standard human military gear, durable, functional, but seemingly primitive compared to the advanced technology surrounding him. His only advantages were his training, his mind, and an unwavering belief that humans belonged among the stars. The reptilian recruits continued to laugh and make jokes. Some bet on how quickly the human would fail. Others simply ignored Jay, considering him beneath their attention. But a few, just a few, watched with curious eyes, sensing something different about this quiet human recruit. As the first simulation prepared to launch, Jay took a deep breath. He wasn't just representing himself. He was representing humanity. Every movement, every decision would be a statement about human potential in this vast competitive universe. The training floor began to transform. Holographic environments materialized. Harsh landscapes, complex urban terrains, zero-gravity combat zones. Each recruit would be tested in ways that would push them to their absolute limits. Jay Park stood ready, quiet, determined, waiting for his moment to prove that humans were far more than anyone expected. The morning training session began with a brutal physical assessment. Recruits from various planets lined up, their bodies reflecting incredible genetic advantages. Kiro, the massive reptilian recruit, could lift weights that would crush a normal human. Zara, a lean silicon-based lifeform, could withstand temperatures that would vaporize human skin. Jay stood at the end of the line, watching the challenges unfold. Strength tests came first. Massive lifting platforms challenged each recruit to demonstrate their physical capabilities. The reptilian recruits effortlessly moved enormous weights that seemed impossible. Mechanical exoskeletons enhanced some recruits' abilities, making them look like walking tanks. When Jay's turn arrived, the entire training hall seemed to pause. Whispers spread like electrical currents. "The human will fail," Cairo muttered to nearby recruits. The training AI's holographic display flickered, recording every moment. Jay approached the lifting platform. No special gear, no technological enhancements, just his human body and years of disciplined training. The weight before him would have crushed most human recruits. A massive graviton-enhanced block designed to test the absolute limits of physical strength. He took a deep breath. Something in his eyes changed. A quiet determination that caught the attention of a few observant recruits. With a controlled movement, Jay lifted the weight. Not with wild strength, but with calculated precision. His muscles strained, his body trembled, but he maintained perfect form. The hall fell silent. The weight moved. Slowly, but definitely moving. The holographic AI's voice cut through the silence. Recruit Park demonstrates unconventional strength adaptation. Technique compensates for biological limitations. Tactical training followed. While alien recruits used advanced neural interfaces and predictive combat algorithms, Jay relied on something different. His strategy came from observation, quick thinking, and an understanding of human unpredictability. During a complex simulation, most recruits followed standard combat protocols. Jay saw the scenario differently. When others zigged, he zagged. His movements were less precise but more adaptive. He used the environment, created unexpected angles of attack, turned limitations into advantages. "Impossible," Kiro whispered, watching the human recruit navigate a scenario that had defeated more technologically advanced recruits. Survival challenges pushed recruits to their absolute limits. A simulated hostile environment tested each recruit's ability to adapt. Alien technologies failed one by one. Advanced cooling systems malfunctioned. Energy shields collapsed. Predictive algorithms became useless. Jay's approach was different. Simple tools. Basic understanding of environmental challenges. Where complex technology failed, human creativity prevailed. He created shelter using minimal resources. Filtered water through improvised systems. Generated heat without advanced technology. Each action was a quiet rebellion against the belief that humans were weak. The training AI continued recording. Something unusual was happening. The human recruit wasn't just surviving. He was demonstrating a form of intelligence that transcended technological advantage. Lunch became another battleground of social dynamics. Alien recruits clustered together, sharing advanced nutrition packs and discussing complex biological adaptations. Jay sat alone eating a simple meal he had prepared himself. Zara, a recruit from a crystalline species, watched him with growing curiosity. "You do not use standard nutrition protocols," she observed. Jay smiled. "Sometimes simple is better." As days passed, the initial mockery began to change. Subtle shifts occurred. Recruits who once laughed now watched with a different expression. Curiosity replaced contempt. Questions replaced assumptions. The reptilian recruits still made jokes, but their laughter seemed less confident. Something about the human recruit challenged their understanding of strength and survival. Each challenge became a statement, each task an opportunity. Jay wasn't just proving himself. He was rewriting the understanding of human potential in this vast, competitive universe. The training continued. And with each passing day, the perception of the human recruit began to change. The training simulation looked like a nightmare landscape. A rocky planet with toxic atmosphere, unpredictable magnetic storms, and terrain that changed every few minutes. Most advanced alien technologies began failing within moments of deployment. Jay's team consisted of recruits who had previously mocked him, Kiro the reptilian, Zara the crystalline being, and 3 other alien species with advanced technological capabilities. Their equipment cost more than entire human colonies. Sophisticated sensors, adaptive environmental suits, neural network interfaces, all designed to ensure survival in the most extreme conditions. Minutes into the simulation, everything went wrong. A massive electromagnetic pulse swept across the planet's surface. Advanced technological systems began shutting down one by one. Energy shields collapsed. Communication networks died. Positioning systems turned into useless metal fragments. The alien recruits panicked. Their entire survival strategy depended on technology that now lay dead and useless. Jay watched calmly. "We need shelter," he said simply. No complex instructions, no technological jargon, just a basic survival statement. Cairo looked at him with a mixture of confusion and desperation. "Our systems are dead. We cannot calculate survival probability." Jay had already started moving. Using basic observations, he identified a rock formation that could provide protection from the planet's harsh winds. He noticed subtle changes in rock color that suggested potential cave systems. His movements were deliberate, calculated. Within 30 minutes, Jay had identified a potential shelter, created a basic water collection system using available materials, and started preparing a protected area. The alien recruits watched in complete disbelief. "How are you doing this?" Zara asked, her crystalline body reflecting confusion. "Humans evolved on a planet with constant environmental challenges," Jay explained simply. "Technology is useful, but understanding your environment is more important." He showed them how to use simple rock formations to block wind, how to create water collection systems using leaves and available materials, how to generate minimal heat without advanced technological systems. The training AI continued recording, its system struggling to understand the human recruit's approach. As toxic storms swept across the planet's surface, Jay's improvised shelter protected the entire team. Where advanced technological systems had failed, basic human understanding prevailed. Cairo watched in silent amazement. The reptilian recruit who had once mocked the human now looked at Jay with something approaching respect. "On my planet," Kiro said quietly, "we have technology for everything, but you understand survival." The simulation continued. Every challenge that appeared seemed designed to defeat the recruits. Extreme temperature changes, radiation bursts, terrain that shifted like living creatures. Each time the alien recruits looked to Jay, not as a weak human, but as a potential leader. He didn't use complex explanations. His instructions were simple: stay together, observe, adapt. When a massive radiation storm approached, Jay used basic geological understanding to identify a natural radiation shield. While other recruits would have relied on technological solutions, he used fundamental scientific knowledge. The training AI's systems began recalculating. The human recruit was generating survival strategies that defied standard computational models. As the simulation approached its final stages, something remarkable happened. The team, once divided by mockery and cultural differences, now moved as a single unit. And at the center of this transformation was Jay. Not through technological superiority, not through physical strength, but through a fundamental understanding of survival that transcended species. When the simulation finally ended, the training hall was silent. The holographic displays showed something unprecedented. A human recruit had not just survived. He had transformed the entire understanding of survival. Kiro looked at Jay. No more jokes, no more mockery, just a newfound respect. "Impressive," the reptilian recruit said simply. The unexpected had become reality, and humanity's potential was just beginning to show itself. The alarm came without warning. Bright red holographic warnings flashed across the training facility. This was no longer a simulation. Something real was happening. An actual emergency had breached the Academy's protective systems. A massive energy disturbance appeared near the training zone, something neither the AI nor the advanced alien technologies could immediately identify or understand. Panic spread quickly. Advanced recruits with sophisticated technological enhancements suddenly found their systems useless. Neural interfaces went dark. Communication networks collapsed. Positioning systems became nothing more than dead metal fragments. Jay remained. Calm Commander Lyra, a veteran from the Galactic Confederation, watched the unfolding chaos through emergency monitoring systems. Her eyes focused on the human recruit who seemed unnaturally composed amid the growing panic. The emergency zone transformed into a nightmare landscape. Electromagnetic interference created visual distortions. Gravity fluctuated unpredictably. Standard protocols became meaningless. "We're losing control," one alien instructor shouted. Multiple recruit teams began breaking formation, their advanced technological advantages now completely worthless. Jay's team, the same group from previous training scenarios, looked toward him. Cairo, the massive reptilian recruit who once mocked him, now waited for instructions. "Stay together," Jay said quietly. "Observe. Adapt." He began using basic survival techniques. No advanced technology, just fundamental understanding of environmental challenges. He identified safe zones based on subtle geological indicators, created makeshift communication methods using simple hand signals and basic environmental reading techniques. Where alien recruits saw chaos, Jay saw patterns. Electromagnetic disruptions followed specific mathematical sequences. Gravity fluctuations had predictable intervals. His mind processed information differently, not through technological interfaces but through pure human adaptability. Commander Lyra watched in growing amazement. The human recruit was generating survival strategies that defied standard computational models. Jay guided his team through the dangerous zone. No complex instructions, simple, direct communication. "Move here, stop there, watch for changes." His team began to move with surprising coordination. The emergency zone continued transforming. Alien recruits with advanced technological enhancements stood confused. Their entire training suggested technological solutions. Jay demonstrated something different: human adaptability. He used rocks as temporary shields, created basic communication methods using reflection and sound, generated minimal heat using simple friction techniques. Each action was a quiet demonstration of human potential. Kiro, who once laughed at human limitations, now moved exactly as Jay instructed. The reptilian recruit's advanced combat training meant nothing compared to Jay's fundamental survival understanding. "How are you doing this?" Zara, the crystalline recruit, asked during a momentary calm. "Humans evolved surviving impossible conditions," Jay explained simply. "Technology is a tool. Understanding is the real weapon." The training AI continued recording, its systems struggling to comprehend the human recruit's approach. Standard models failed. Jay's strategies existed outside computational predictions. As the emergency scenario reached its peak, something remarkable happened. Jay's team became the only fully functional unit. Other recruit groups had collapsed. Advanced technological species found themselves completely helpless. Commander Lyra's final report would later describe the scenario as unprecedented human adaptability demonstration. When the emergency finally subsided, the training facility stood in shocked silence. The human recruit had not just survived. He had transformed the entire understanding of survival strategies. Kiro looked at Jay with complete respect. No more jokes, no more mockery. "Impressive," the reptilian recruit said simply. The breakthrough had occurred. Humanity's potential was no longer a question. It was a demonstrated reality. The universe was about to learn that humans were far more than anyone had expected. The final assessment arrived like a quiet storm. After the emergency scenario, everything had changed. Park was no longer the outsider. He had become something more. The Galactic Confederation's top commanders gathered in a massive circular chamber. Holographic displays showed Jay's entire training performance, every challenge, every moment of unexpected adaptation. Recruits from dozens of alien species watched with growing anticipation. Commander Lyra stood at the central platform, Her four eyes studied the human recruit with intense concentration. Behind her, a panel of the most advanced military leaders in the galaxy waited to make their final judgment. "Recruit Park," she began, her translator converting her native language into clear, precise English. "Your performance challenges everything we understand about interstellar military potential." The chamber remained silent. Jay stood perfectly still. No excitement, no fear, just calm determination. Kiro, the reptilian recruit who had once mocked him, now stood as his strongest supporter. During the final testimonies, Kiro described how Jay had transformed their entire understanding of survival and teamwork. "Humans are not weak," Kiro stated firmly. "They are different. Their strength comes from adaptability." The holographic displays showed multiple scenarios. Each recording demonstrated how Jay had turned limitations into advantages. Where technology failed, human creativity prevailed. Where complex systems collapsed, basic human understanding created solutions. Zara, the crystalline recruit, provided additional testimony. "He sees patterns where others see chaos," she explained. "Technology is a tool. Understanding is the real weapon." The commanders reviewed everything: tactical assessments, survival scenarios, teamwork demonstrations. Each review revealed something unprecedented about the human recruit. "We have a recommendation," Commander Lyra announced finally. The chamber held its breath. "Recruit Jay Park will be assigned to the Confederation's Special Adaptation Unit, a team specifically designed for the most challenging interstellar missions." Alien recruits who once laughed now watched with respect. The human who entered the academy as an outsider was leaving as a potential legend. The Special Adaptation Unit was legendary, a team that handled the most complex, unpredictable missions across the galaxy. Many species had applied. Few were ever selected, and now a human would be part of that elite group. Jay's final moment came with unexpected simplicity. No grand speech, no dramatic declaration, just a quiet acknowledgement of what had been achieved. "Humans belong among the stars," he said simply. The commanders exchanged knowing glances. They understood something fundamental had changed. Humanity was no longer just another species. They were a strategic asset. Outside the assessment chamber, alien recruits discussed the breakthrough. No more jokes about human weakness. No more mockery. A new understanding had emerged. Commander Lyra's official report would later become required reading in military academies across the galaxy. Its conclusion was simple but powerful. Human potential is not defined by technology. It is defined by adaptability, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit. Jay Park walked out of the assessment chamber changed, not by the recognition, but by the understanding that he had opened a door for every human who would follow. The stars seemed a little closer, the universe a little more possible. Humanity's journey was just beginning.